Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Mr Pekri again. We're going to be doing some more maths today, and we're continuing on from what we did from the last video, but this time we are crossing boundaries. So we're going to do some addition and subtraction, but this time it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'll show you how to do the method so that you can do it more easily. Okay, so for our first question we're going to do some addition, and we're only going to do 2-digit numbers, so I don't need my hundreds column. So I'm just going to cover that up. So, first of all, we need to make our first number, which is 45. So I need to get my tens. You can use whatever you want. I'm using my lolly sticks again. And I need 4 of them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. Now I need to get 5 ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now with this video we're going to be crossing boundaries, which means we might need to do some swapping or exchanging or borrowing, whatever you know it as, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So to 45 we're going to add 58. Now with the 8 and the 5 it's going to go over 10, so we're going to need to do something. Now if I get 8 ones to add on to my ones, because that's what we need to do first, I need to do 8 add 5. So I've got 5 and I'm going to add 8 more. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now if I count my ones, I'm going to have more than 10. And I'm going to show you what you can do after you have that. So let's count them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now I've got 13, which means I have 10 and 3. So I'm going to separate my 3, and the 10 that I have, I'm going to swap it out for another 10 to make this a lot easier. So instead of 4 10s and 13, now I've got 5 10s and 3. Now that I've added my ones, I can add my 10s. So I've got my 4 10s and an extra one from the ones. Now I need to add 5 more 10s. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's count the 10s and I'll find out how much I have all together. So in my 10s I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, which means that my answer is 103. And also, you might have guessed, if I have 100, which means I have 10 10s, I can swap it out for 100. So my answer is 103. And that looks like this. So I've got 100, I've got 0 10s, so I'm going to write 0, and then I've got 3 1s. So my answer is 103. Right, now we're going to do a 3-digit question. So we're going to have 359 plus 225, and we're going to have the same problem where we need to exchange some of our numbers. First thing we need to do is we need to get 359. So I'm going to get my hundreds first, and I need 3 of them. So I've got 100, 200, and 300. Now I need 5 10s. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And I need 9 ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, I'm going to add 359 to 225. So I've got this number. Now I need to add on this number. And the first thing we do is our ones. So I need to do 9 plus 5. So I've got my 9 here, and I need to add on 5 more. So I've got them here, and I have 9. So I've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I've just added 5 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's my 9. Now I have 14, which is over 10, which means I have 10 and 4. So I'm going to keep 4, and the 10 that I have, I'm going to change it and get 1 10. So now instead of having 10 and 4 in my ones, I've got my 4 here and my 10 is over here. So after I've done my ones, I need to do my 10s. It's 5 plus 2. I don't have 5 anymore because of my ones, but I'm still only adding 2. So I need to get 2 10s and add those on. There's 1 10 and there's another. Now I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I've got 4 1s and 8 10s. Now I need to add on my 200. So I've already got 3, 4, 500, which means my answer is 584. So my 5 is in my hundreds column, my 8 is in my tens column, and my 4 is in my ones column. Okay, now we're going to do a subtraction question, and we need to get our numbers first before we start. And my question is 66 take away 18. So I need to get 6 10s for my tens column first. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my 10s. That's 60. And now I need 6 1s. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I need to take away 18, but I know that I need to take 8 away from 6, and I can't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow or exchange my 10, one of my 10s. So I'm going to take this 10 and I'm going to exchange it for 10 1s. And then I'm going to add it onto my 1s column. So I'm going to add on 10 10s now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now that I've exchanged, I can take away 8 from my 6, which is now 16. So I'm going to take 8 of those away now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1s. Now I need to take my 10 away from my other 10s. So I need to take one of them away, which is quite easy. I can just do that and it's gone. And now I'm left with 48. But there's one more thing I need to show you. So what I did when I borrowed my 10 and used it in my ones is I cancelled out what my 10 was here. So instead of 66, it was 56. But my 6 in my ones turned into 16. So instead of having 66, I borrowed from my 10s column and I put it into my ones. So this became 16. And because I took one away, instead of 6, this was a 5. And then after I took my 10 away from here, I was only left with 4, which meant that my answer was 48. Okay, now we're going to do a 3-digit subtraction question, and we're going to need to do some more exchanging. But first, let's get our numbers. So we're going to do 473, take away 188. So let's get our 400s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hundreds. I need to get 7 10s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 70. And I need my 3 1s. Now, from this, I need to take away 188. I start with my ones. So the first thing I need to do is 3 take away 8, which if I try to do 1, 2, 3, I can't get all the way to 8. So just like the last question, I need to exchange one of my 10s. So I'm going to take one of my 10s and I'm going to exchange it for 10 ones. So I've got my 10 ones and I'm going to put them next to my other ones. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I can take away 8. So of those 10 that I just exchanged from here, I'm going to take 8 of them away. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. That's it. So I'm left with only 5 ones. Now I need to do my 10s, but I need to remember that I've borrowed from here. So this number is now 6 and this number was 13. I don't need that now, but at the end of the question, that's what it will need to look like. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s, and I need to take 8 away, which again, I can't do. So this time, instead of getting more ones, I'm going to exchange one of my hundreds for 10 10s. So I'm going to get 10 more 10s and add that in, and then I'm going to subtract my 8. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that I've got more than 10, I can take away 8. So I'm going to count those really carefully and see how many I've got left. So I have to take 8 of my 10s away. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's see how many 10s I've got left now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 5 ones left and 8 10s, but I still need to take away my hundreds. So I've only got 3 left now, and I need to take 1 away. So all I'm going to do is take my 1. So I've got 2 hundreds left, 8 10s, and 5 ones. But I need to remember that I borrowed from my 100, so that's going to be a 3, and my 6 turned into a 16. And then I took away my hundreds and my 10s. Okay, and my answer was 285. Okay, so the important thing to think about when you're adding and subtracting and crossing boundaries at the same time is which numbers do you need to borrow from, and you only need to borrow or exchange when the number that you're taking away is bigger than the number that you're taking away from. So I had to exchange there because I can't take 8 away from 3. I couldn't take 8 away from 6. So I had to exchange from the bigger unit. So when I couldn't do my 1s, I exchanged from my 10s. And when I couldn't do my 10s, I had to exchange one of my hundreds. I hope that helped. I'm going to give you a few questions to try on your own now, and then you can test yourself as much as you need to afterwards. Okay, now using what I've showed you, there's a few questions for you to try. There are 2 addition questions and 2 subtraction questions. There are 2 2-digit questions and 2 3-digit questions. Pause the video and just try them, and then you can check them with an adult, or you can check them using a calculator to see if you've got the answer right. Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something. Remember, you can always play it back and use it to practice. If you don't understand, you can always try it again and you should be able to do it.